All right. So thank all of you for just some thoughts that you guys put into this. And I think everyone, some of the common themes were around just encouragement and inspiration and people not being just put in a position or asked to serve in a position without any kind of orientation and some guidance, and then just leaving them just, you got it, go ahead, it's all yours kind of thing. And that can happen in NA service. I've seen it happen. So I've had it happen to me, and then what I try to do is that's why I was asking Gail about. I've been on that other side where I was just kind of left to it, and so what I learned from that, it irritated me so much that I said, I'm gonna make sure the next person doesn't get done the same way. Right? That was real early in my recovery. I learned a very valuable message, lesson with that. So mentorship is very important as far as leadership goes. Got it.
So, okay, so the idea behind this slide is, oh, well, I'm gonna have to buy some time because Irene just stepped away from the computer. That's okay, we could do that. The idea behind this slide that's coming up, the question that's gonna happen is, like in my experience, in our experience, it's always like, what do we do next? Like we've talked about some stuff, we've shared some information with each other, and where does that information, what happens next? So so these are just some quotes that that we grabbed from the literature. Some of them are really pretty powerful. I know Craig didn't read the last one, so I might take his example because that was pretty brilliant of him. But the first one says, in service, we express our gratitude for the recovery others have shared with us by carrying it out to others. I think there's a typo in there. So maybe it's carrying ours to others. Well, more will be revealed. And I think it's really it's important because, you know, we do show our gratitude through service. Like that's how I show my gratitude, is how I serve. Do I serve with a grumpy face, or do I serve with a spirit of love, which is what Narcotics Anonymous gave me, is a lot of love. And sometimes I've experienced, I've been on the receiving end of grumpy face service, and I've probably given some grumpy face service. But the thing that I know about Narcotics Anonymous is that it's up to me, you know, how I serve. And it's up to me how I choose to serve, you know, and that's been really important. And I've learned a lot, you know, like I talk positively about the service that I've done. Like I'm honored to be here. Like it's a total honor to be a member of this fellowship and to be allowed to give something of myself. I don't know about everybody out there, but I hope that, you know, in this next session, while we're meditating for our 3 minutes with our wrap up music that Joanna got for us so graciously, that you think about, you know, what's next? What are you going to do? And then we're going to open the floor and let's inspire each other. That's what service does for me. It inspires me. You know, it's just, you know, some of these quotes are about joy in service. You know, our gratitude speaks. That's what we're talking about here. How do I show that? You know, what do I do? And how can I like give that to another person? I don't know about anybody here, but before I got here, what I was giving to other people was not anything of essence. And today, because of NA, I get to give things that are like worthy and beautiful and just so amazing. So I'm really, really honored that I got to be a part of this workshop and a part of this weekend and a part of NA, man. I mean, it's so cool. And I'm really grateful. So, so let's see what our last question is. And here's some beautiful music. And we'll come back and after we meditate for a little bit of time and let's answer that question. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Thank you everybody for taking the moments to like hang out with us and just really deeply think about stuff. I don't know that we do that a lot. So I appreciate everybody walking through this process with us. So with that said, show me some hands, man. All right, and I see a hand up from Stacy S. and inspiring me because I want to see some hands from some people who maybe haven't spoken yet. That'd be amazing to hear from you too, or anybody else really, because we have 0 hands except for Stacy's. So I'm going to unmute you, Stacy. Go ahead and share with us.
Hi, my name is Stacey and I'm an addict. I want to say congratulations to anyone that celebrate and welcome anybody that's just coming back. I am so sorry that I wasn't able to make this workshop on time. Somehow I missed the workshop. I don't know if it was in small print. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention because I love workshops, you know. And but my question is this, right? I went in the chat because I really didn't understand the format, right? And it said in chat, leaders and mentors. It say mentors say, hey, let's go instead of here you go. And then give me room to make mistakes, knowing I can't break Narcotics Anonymous or something of that sort. Can that just be a little bit explained to me?
What you're asking, why we're talking about mentorship, Stacy?
Oh, she's asking specifically, Dennis had put something in the chat, just an ideal, and she was asking about that. And unless Dennis wants to speak to it, I can share with what I think that meant, but he's the one that
Sure.
put it in there.
I can give a brief piece
There
of
you
that.
go. Yeah.
Is
Thank you, Dennis.
Part of the difference between or what makes a leader is they don't just say, like Craig talked about, just here you go, run with it. It's come on, let's go, or here, can you come with me and help, or just it's let's do this, not you do this. And the other part was I heard Bill speak about some of his initial mentorship that was really powerful for him, and like in reflecting back on mine, like leaders also will help guide without trying to control how I'm serving. They will give me room to make mistakes, knowing that I can't break this thing. This thing is bigger than me, bigger than you, bigger than all of us. And they'll help guide me because I'll learn from my mistakes too, as long as I'm loved on the other side of it and help guide it through it. So a good leader will say, come on, let's go, not micromanage me, give me room to make mistakes, and help me understand in my own humility that I can't break this thing. So I don't have to be so afraid of making mistakes. I just get to participate in this thing and help one more addict stay clean somewhere.
Thanks, Dennis.
Stacy, I unmuted you. Does that answer your question, dear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Sure. Can I ask you a question since we have no other hands
You
up?
sure can. Yes.
What will you take from that experience? Asking a question and getting an answer. What is that?
What I would take from it is I have to allow a person to be where they at. I have to meet a person where they at. And I will also help them get to where they need to be.
Mm.
That's what that's what I get from it.
I love
Opposed to just throwing them to the wolves.
Wow, I'm really appreciative that you spoke. That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Hey, I see a hand. It's like a magical gift when I see a hand. So give me a lot of gifts, you guys. Come on. Bunny, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, dear.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bunny. I'm an addict. Thanks again. It just occurs to me once again how much of a taker I've been all of my life, and it's humbling to, I don't know why I'm not on video. I don't like that. Give me a second. Okay, here I go. how humbling it's been to be amongst you guys tonight and to listen to you. And, you know, I'm grateful to be part of this tonight. So it motivates me to want to do more. Being around doers, you guys are doers, you know, and your powers of example for me. And I want to thank you. You know, it makes me understand how this is exciting. You're right. Service is exciting. It can be exciting. I had no idea. I'm so grateful for this platform, how much goes on in Narcotics Anonymous that I can be part of now. You know, just want to make me get up and dance. This is good stuff, you know. I'm hoping that this virus passes, of course, but I'm grateful for you know, this platform. You know, it makes me want to do, you know, and that's the greatest thing for a selfish addict like myself. Thank you guys once again. And before I go, Joanna, thank you so much for your service, for your quiet in the back, down low service. You're the best.
Thank you so much, Bunny. Gail, would you like to unmute yourself and go ahead and share?
Yes, thank you. So when Dennis was sharing about fixing, you know, the fixing stuff, it just reminded me of what was told to me. And again, I tell other people just coming into services that there's nothing you can do that can't be fixed. So because people get nervous, they think, you know, they're gonna mess it up or whatever. I mean, from the littlest thing, from you know, typing up minutes to putting on an event, you know, they get nervous about that. They think, oh, what if I do it wrong? What if I forget to do this or forget to do that? And I always say, there's nothing you do that can't be fixed if you know, if it needs to be. And I had shared in the chat also that I was taught from the very beginning, you know, the we of us, that we all do this and we all do it together. And even when I'm writing a report or sharing or, you know, at a committee meeting, it should always be about we, because that's the biggest thing about our program is it's a we program, not a me program. And so I think that when that is being relayed back to the newcomer or the person new to service, they realize they're not alone and that they have support and that they have something that, you know, they can fall back on. I love this. I love this workshop. I love talking about mentorship because, you know, I had such great mentors for myself, and I appreciate all of this. I also just want to take this minute to say thank you guys so much for allowing me to be in service with this event and being a part of this amazing, amazing group of people. You guys have taught me so much, and I can't even put into words how excited I have been about this whole project. And I can't wait to work even further with you guys. I have seen many of you in the last 3 years on webinars, at the conference, you know, other stuff. And I have always been in awe of your abilities and your skills and your knowledge. And I'm so grateful that you allowed me back in. You allowed me in and have been sharing that with me as well. I will take this with me forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gail. And you're so inspiring and beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us. I really appreciate you. I think our next person, our next hand, our one and only hand is Chris.
I'm sorry, guys. It's just quiet, and this is a phenomenal workshop. So what will I take from today's discussion? A lot of what we've heard, so not all of it, but like a lot of it, I've already been able to kind of incorporate in my just practice in NA service. But there were some things that I hadn't thought of or I hadn't looked at it in this way. So that's now going to be incorporated, right? Because I don't ever stop learning, you know. And the thing that I love, like here's part of my crazy belief system, is we have a lot of newcomers that show up to Narcotics Anonymous, and usually newcomers don't really get involved with service because, you know, they're new, they're just trying to get a day clean. And in my area, in my region, a lot of the things that we struggle with are like old problems, and we keep trying the same tactics to solve these old problems, and we don't really make any leeway. But these newcomers, they have crazy ideas, but they're new ideas and they're creative ideas. So if I choose, and this is what I've been doing for a few years now, is I like to approach the newcomers and I ask them about what we're doing in service, right? Say, hey, this situation came up. Like, what do you think? What do you think about it? You know, and sometimes they say something really crazy, but a lot of times they come up with just a simple sentence or a phrase that's completely different and outside of the box. So approaching the newer member, both newer to service and newer to like recovery, provides us with an untapped well of creativity. NA is not growing in my community. We're an established community. So we have to get creative in dealing with a lot of the issues that come up with service. I'm a fairly creative person, right? But I think that a lot of the creativity comes from the people that have never, you know, I don't like using the word tainted, but like tainted by like these service ideas and structures. This is the way it has to be. If they don't know how it has to be, they're free to think on their own. So getting involved with them and then showing them like, hey, we also have to remain within these things called traditions. Here are some concepts that help us stay there too. Like showing them that aspect and listening to their ideas and encourage them to get creative and get involved. It's such a beautiful process when you see them stay and you see them be able to do these amazing things. And what I take away from this workshop today is how important leadership and mentorship is to the survival of Narcotics Anonymous. It really is. If we don't train and mentor the people behind us, it will fall apart. It may take a long time. You know, I drove a car without a valid sticker for a very long time, but eventually I got caught. So eventually it will fall apart. So getting involved with the next generation that's going to replace all of us, I think is a great opportunity for us to practice what we just learned today. That's all.
Thank you so much, Chris. Dawn, I think we're going to let you go ahead and share so I don't forget to call on you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sure.
Hey, I'm Dawn and I'm an addict. And I just got back on, so I missed most of the workshop. But I really appreciated, well, what Gail had to say, but also what the question Stacy asked, and then Dennis's answer about the difference between leadership and mentorship. And the thing that I am most inspired by, and I've witnessed it kind of serving in this work group or group of people who have volunteered to make this event happen, is that, you know, true leadership is flexible, but we also know when it's time to be quiet and allow others to lead, if that's what we're calling it. But the thing that I am most inspired by, and what I pray about often, is the opportunity I get as a trusted servant to help make the comfortable people uncomfortable and the uncomfortable people comfortable. And what I mean by that is what I think Des kind of alluded to it, is ensuring that those newer ideas, and I think Chris did too, like people with new ideas or maybe an old idea that we just have let go, but allowing people the opportunity to serve from their heart and not from my head. I don't know if that makes sense the way I just said it or not, but that's kind of what I was thinking about as I was listening. And I think about the heart, you know, the gift of going from, you know, that self-obsessed, self-absorbed to that other-centered place, that place that allows us to celebrate others, not just others' successes, but others' opportunities for growth. And for me, that's a lot of what true service in Narcotics Anonymous has been about, And I could give 1,000, maybe even more examples of times that I've had the privilege of watching you all do that. So thanks.
Thank you so much, dear. We lost a hand, but our next hand is Carlos. There we go.
Carlos, I'm an addict. Thank you for the opportunity of sharing so many times, but I have a treasure. It's so precious to me, and you taught me that I should share it whenever I have the opportunity. So here it goes. It's the perception that when I do something for others without expecting anything in return, that fills in the void that I had, that I tried to fill with using with my addiction. And it's the opposite way of my disease, you know? Like my disease is all me, more for me, I first. So when I do something for other people without expecting anything in return, that's going the other direction, the opposite way. So it makes sense to me that it works so well to make me, and it's contrary in many ways, because the what comes with service is not immediate. Sometimes it's years after that we see the results of doing service, and it's expecting nothing in return, not even a tap in the back or a recognition. That for me, that perception, that experience, that knowledge is one of the most cherished treasures I have in my recovery. Thank you so much for your service, for this fantastic workshop.
Thank you so much. All right. Hey, Lewis. There you go.
I'm Lewis and I'm an addict. And I'm a bit of a skeptic of this for a lot of different reasons. And I'll explain why. And I want to build on what Chris said and what Dawn said, really. My area is booming prior to the pandemic. I mean, we were getting a lot of young people. We were, you know, there are a lot of recovery houses opened up in the area, you know, started by NA members. A lot, you know, Chicago has been a huge problem with the opioid situation. And so a lot of people were moving into our area, a lot of young kids. And we old timers made a conscientious decision to stop telling them what to do. It's very easy for me to throw Fleabag Clean Time around and say, you're doing it wrong. That drives people away more than anything I know. And what I've learned is that it is better for them to repeat a mistake than it is for me to throw negativity their way. And that the attitude that I've learned how to take throughout all this is that I have more to learn from them than they have from me, especially in this technology stuff like this. And, you know, I mean, there's so new things. I mean, and so everyone's gone through that situation of having a special collection can for H&I. Everyone's done that, right? And the new people wanted to do that. And one of our old timers had a tirade about it, even telling the newcomer to go look back at the minutes of the old world H&I work group that Anthony has somewhere. You know, it's like, it was absolutely insane. And I instead told the woman, well, let's try it and see. The cost of making that mistake was zero, right? But the cost of one of our old timers, you know, blowing a hole in her ass was bigger. And so that's what I've tried to do. I don't tell them what to do unless they ask. And that's been a big decision of a lot of the old timers here. And there was one meeting in particular that was very, very popular, and the new people came in. We call them the kids. You know, it went from 10 people to 50 people. And the new kids had some ideas for changing the meeting, and the old timers stepped up and said, no, no, no. Meeting died. The kids left. Forget it. So I'm sorry if I'm so a contrarian voice on all this, but this is what's happened in my area. It's been great. My area made more donations to World than my region did. we had more money than we knew what to do with because we were rich kids from the suburbs, basically. And so anyway, that's my message. And sorry to say it the way I did. Thanks.
No, Louis, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. It's always a pleasure. Claudia, also one of your Chicago friends. Yay. Go ahead, Claudia.
Hi, I'm Claudia. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I really just put my hand up because I know you really like a hand up there. But I do, one of those things I might take away from it to move out of my area into a different region, you know. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I got clean in the area Lewis is in right now, and I'm in a neighboring area right now, right? And it's just, and I keep going back and forth because it's really closer to me for me to go to Lewis's meetings, like area meetings, instead of my own area meetings, just the way where I'm located. And I'm really struggling with like this old timer, everything being rigged before you even show up at area. And it's just like, I'm like begging for years, let me help, you know, and nothing. It's just so annoying. Yes, so staying open-minded, you know, and also like what I'm taking away from it is I don't have to follow the traditional path. Like I don't have to start out as a secretary and then be a GSR and then become a chair. You know, I can be of service within the fellowship outside of my area or region if I wanted to, right? There's the virtual NA, there's the Midwest Zonal, right? These are things, so instead of completely running away, being of service of NA, because I'm doing a lot of service outside of NA, and I really enjoy being of service. It's my life purpose. I can focus on other portions of NA. So that's what I took from here today. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Claudia. I look forward to MZF service with you. That'll be a blast. All right, Katie, you're next. I'm going to unmute you, dear.
Hi, I'm Katie. Hi. So what will I take from today's discussion? First, that I am inspired, as always, with everything that everybody's had to share. And I think just it was really validating to hear other people's experiences regarding being newer in service and how sometimes the way that NA has kind of historically been is kind of a little bit stuck in the ways that some things happen, and like to not get discouraged. Like if you're new, like, you know, like we have to practice all of the same spiritual principles of like understanding that, you know, we're like that what's best for NA is like was what's best for me, and like just continuing to keep coming back and like you know, and just like keep with it and keep learning. I don't know, I feel like sometimes I have felt like the newcomer in service where I don't know anything, that my ideas aren't as important or valid as other people's, but like continuing to speak up about it anyways. Like my voice is just as important as anybody else's in Narcotics Anonymous, and like for everybody who feels like that to raise your hand and share. Like just in a normal meeting, like everybody's opinion and like that, and that's how like leaders, like everyone's a leader here, and like everyone in NA is a potential to be a leader in NA, and like that's how we need to look at everybody, like when they come in the rooms, like everybody has potential to do all of this, and like the people who are here today, like we have to bring that out of people, like we have to try to find the best in our members and like try to get them involved, and like just remember that like that's for me too. Like I have to be a leader in Narcotics Anonymous, like regardless of all of the service positions, and if I'm elected as this or that or the other thing, like we can all lead in our own way. And that is what I'm going to take away. And thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you everybody who participated. I really I really appreciate all the input and shares. That was beautiful. Lee has said he has fixed his microphone. So go ahead, Lee. I really want to hear what you have to say, my friend. Well, we got to get him to unmute. We're still not hearing you. Is anybody else hearing Lee? I'm just not having any luck. Good old technology. Okay, sorry, Lee. He says he has so much to share. There's not enough room in the chat, so hopefully he'll put some extra tidbits out there for us. So, thank
Is
you.
he, Des, is he a co-host?
He is, and he's unmuted, but his microphone isn't working.
Well, once he gets the document, he can add, right?
Oh, that's an excellent point. Yeah, Lee, we'll gladly take your input on the document and share that in the where is it going, Dennis? Oh, to the virtual outreach drive.
Yeah, because as soon as I'm done, I'm going to share it out there wherever it goes.
Look at us, all our solutions. Great. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go to our last two slides. This one's just something that I've learned to say because of Narcotics Anonymous. So, well, in the blue. But thanks for spending time with us today. Really, it means a lot to me. And remember to always be kind to yourselves and each other. That's like a valuable thing to remember now and anytime, even when times are good, when they're bad, it doesn't matter.